Hey, good morning, fuckers, and welcome to another day at the Daily VM where we get to have a good morning watching Mike eat Oreos live on cam. What's going on, dude? Nom, 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 nom. That's what's going on. Nom, 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 nom. Are you sad?
Why did you say that right when I was sticking it in my mouth?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Get situated here.
Yeah. Get that in there, that nice white filling. How much white filling have you had in your mouth this morning, Mike? He still has white filling in his mouth, people. He can't talk.
Are you done?
Okay, I'm done.
Tastes like pineapple.
Lies. Lies. It's all lies. You know, that whole old saying that eating pineapple makes your sperm taste sweeter, I'm starting to think that that's total bullshit. Because every guy, no, I'm just kidding. Because everybody I've been with has been not, it tastes like Taco Bell. Just saying. No, but seriously, I think that's kind of bullshit. You know, for, you know, that kind of stuff. Hi. Hello. Mikey. Yeah? Are you awake?
Yes.
Are you half asleep?
No.
Jesus Christ. Are you on drugs? Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad.
I wish I was on drugs.
Yeah?
I wish I was on drugs sometimes.
Dude.
Drugs would be easier.
You know, if you know,
You were
sometimes
rambling and I just zoned you out.
you just zoned out from the get-go. Ever since you fucking overdosed on Oreos this morning, it's like you've been...
I had 2 Oreos. I didn't fucking overdose.
Oh, really? You had 2? Times what?
Yep. Just 2. No, I just limit myself. If I'm going to have a bad moment, I'm just going to do it very little.
You know, they should ban those things because they're fucking horrible for you. I mean, they really should. They're like one of the worst things you can eat besides Cheez-Its. Or not Cheez-Its, goldfish. I've heard goldfish are bad for you, too. Yeah. Allegedly, should I say, that they're bad for you. But all I'm saying is that at least they're not TikTok. Because TikTok looks like they're going to get banned, dude.
Yep, they're out of here.
I mean,
shit, by the time this episode airs, they might already be dead.
They might already be gone by the time this one airs. But yeah, the Congress looks like they passed that bill to go through to the Senate.
I wonder how many people are going to be out of jobs because they no longer have TikTok accounts.
You know, there was a part of me that didn't feel sad for this one influencer. I guess it's because I'm not the one making, $20,000 a month, off of social media yet. Just kidding. Don't forget to hit that donate link right here at the bottom of the screen. But no, just kidding. But not really. But she was basically in tears saying that, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now. I'm not going to have a job. I'm not going to do this. I'm like, welcome to the world of everybody else. It's out there looking for work or, struggling to get a job or all of a sudden lost their job due to, whatever the circumstances by that company, having to cut back. Welcome to the real world. Welcome back to fucking reality. It's not all just sunshine and rainbows and fucking unicorns on the internet. You know what I mean? Everybody's always like, I got the best thing going. And all of a sudden, the world drops out on you, But But Congress, they passed that shit. So now it's on to the Senate where, Joe Biden said, hey, I'll sign that shit.
What are the chances of them passing it through the Senate, you think?
Since it was bipartisan in Congress, I think it's going to happen. It was completely 100% bipartisan.
Okay. So it's a done deal then, pretty much.
It's going to be a done deal. It's just, a lot of people question, can they really ban it? So their lawmakers, some lawmakers argue that the bill is that was under consideration, but now passed. It can't be a total ban. Rather, it be to enact a new authority to ban apps in and I quote this, narrowly defined situations. When it's controlled by a foreign adversary like China, for instance. Right. But my question is who gets to rule? What's a narrowly defined situation? Like, who gets to decide that? Would it be the judicial? Because once it's signed into law, it's law, right?
Pretty much.
So I guess it's who we elect that makes those decisions.
They can challenge it, I think maybe it's I don't know the company can or not.
I mean, because there's so many other like companies that are owned by foreign adversaries that are still here in the United States. So you're going to ban them too?
I think the problem is that it has such a strong reach implication, and there's so much manipulation that can happen that it can be a problem to national security. I mean, the platform for TikTok's totally different in China than what it is in the U.S. as far as what's the content being served.
So what would stop us from telling them that they have to serve it the exact same way?
When
you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, obviously they're a communist country. You know what I mean? So they're going to control what gets viewed and what gets seen anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I personally feel all social media should be banned.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like social media. You know this. Why
do you feel like it should be banned though? I mean, honestly, what's your viewpoint on it? I mean, why do you feel
I feel like it brings the worst out in people.
But I've also seen some things that have been positive about it. You know, like you get good exercise regimens, for instance, from people who are trainers. I mean, there's some bad information out there too.
There's more bad information than there's good information.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of different freaking people too. But so who do you trust? I guess
certified professionals.
Right. So you have to ask for certifications and things like that from the people versus just trusting what you see. Right. I guess what I'm saying is would it be the responsibility of the individual to fact check that? You know what I mean? Like you would anything else in life. Like you wouldn't believe. I mean, there's some things I've said to you that's wrong, and you're like, nope, that's not necessarily true. You know what I mean?
That's because I've gotten burned so many times by listening and trusting people that now I check everything.
Right. So, and then some people go, oh, he's an asshole because he freaking goes behind me. I've heard that one before too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the small gain that we get, I think, is outweighed by all the negatives.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, Mike.
No, but I mean, like, what do you think has been positive? Like, how has your life improved with social media compared to how it was pre-social media?
I mean,
how do you think kids' lives have improved since social media came into existence versus how your childhood was without social media?
It's hard because I'm not a kid right now. I can only base it on what my sons tell me. You know what I mean?
And what you see.
And what I see going on around the world. I feel like the problem, and I've said this before in prior episodes, I feel like the problem isn't necessarily the platform 100%. Now, I will say there needs to be some better policing of the platforms when it comes to children and people under the age of 18. Because when you're over 18, you can make a decision. You're an adult. But under the age of 18, I think there should be some safeguards, things put in that don't allow you. The problem is even the safeguards they put in, they're easy to circumvent. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do? I know what you're thinking, but I'm just saying, I feel like as a kid between the ages of, from birth to 18, those are obviously your development years. So it's super important to protect that. So like, mom and dads, like even my mom and dad, they worked 2 jobs growing up. But the thing was that I didn't have social media to rely on to try to teach me things either that are incorrect or not factual,
All right.
So in that sense, yeah, I agree with you. Like
it's the peer pressure. Like before, like if you got picked on in school, you'd come home
and it's over.
You wouldn't have that.
Yeah, it'd
be over.
Only your friends in your neighborhood would screw with you. You know what I mean?
Now it follows you globally. Like if you do something stupid, like what I mean by stupid is if you like have an accident or you fall down or something dumb happens to you and they get it on film, that could go viral. And now there's 50 million people out there, calling you an idiot.
Yeah, no,
you're and now you feel like your life's ruined as a kid, or you got a sex trafficking organization just scrolling through and picking out people that they want to, pick up because of their social media. They know where they're at. They know what they're doing. I mean, there are some good things that came out. Like, I guess like artists and stuff like that. It's easier for them to be found
right?
But
Distribution, things of that nature, of the music itself.
yeah, but
Is
I
it,
think there'd be better controlled ways to do that still.
yeah, I mean, social media as a whole definitely needs to be looked at and revamped for safeguards. I agree. Um, spending the majority of my days on it, I can say, yeah, for sure, hands
Yeah,
down, that there needs to be some changes, especially like I said, between the ages of 17, all the way down to young children. First of all, I don't think if you're I think on Facebook you have to be at least 13 or older, I believe, to have a Facebook
yeah,
account, right? I believe it's 13.
uh-huh.
But so between the ages of 13 and 8 and 17, you shouldn't be able to do anything that adults do. And it should be policed and stripped down. I mean, they make certain apps and stuff like that where it's different for children than it is for adults, you know? So why couldn't you do the same thing with the platform? The only thing I can think of is that since they have an existing infrastructure, it might be difficult, a lot of money to dumb it down for those users. You know what I mean? So it costs money. But then again, these companies make what, billions of dollars so in profit for their
Yeah.
shareholders and things. So I mean, where does the responsibility lie? As an individual, somebody's gonna have to step up and make it done. I just say we bring back Tom.
MySpace.
Just Tom. Bring back Tom. He was always your first friend. He was my first friend on the internet. I mean, digital friend.
Yeah.
He was friends with everybody. But
Yeah, I wish there was a better way to do it. I just don't know what the option is. I mean, I miss the time before uh social media and Facebook,
right.
Like I feel like you would read better articles, you'd read news was more well curated. Now the news is in such a hurry to beat social media that they're putting out a bunch of crap too.
Yeah, they don't
Because
even
they don't have
fact check
time.
hardly anything
They
anymore. They
don't
don't have
have
the time.
they don't have time. They don't have time because it's instantaneous because it's already hitting the news wave before they have time to even fast check stuff because what people see and they post immediately it gets out there and they're just trying to stay relevant. So they don't have the time to fact check the story, to edit it, to write it, to make sure what message are we sending out to the masses. Like none of that's happening. It's all happening real time and there's a lot of missteps with it. And there's a lot of people that I don't think they should have voices. Like I don't think they should be able to talk to the masses because I don't think their message is good.
Right.
You know?
No, listen.
And I might fall into that category too. So because
bad Mike's
being
off
on
screen.
yeah, being on the this platform and stuff
on
like
the internet. Mike
we
got
used to
banned
spend
from the
more.
internet.
And I do think there is a callback to it, but I mean there's a lot of people that are, there's higher depression now, higher feeling of loneliness, higher feeling of disconnect, and I think a lot of it has to do with social media because it's setting up a lot of falsities. Like I see Instagram people constantly talking out about the bodies that you see on social media are not real because they're using filters, they're using tweaks or enhancements. It's it's not okay because you're looking at ideals that aren't there, and then they're also trying to normalize things that shouldn't be normalized, like obesity. Like obesity should not be normalized.
Okay, so we'll kick gears into that here in a second because there's something I wanted to
Yeah.
add to that too. Because you made a good statement. What was life before social media when you were a child back when we were growing
Yeah.
up versus now? Child obesity was on a low
Mhm.
because we were outside, we were active. I mean, you hear everybody can say it. Oh, that's what old people say, but it's the truth. You were riding your bike, you were going over to your friend's house that could be, a half a mile to a quarter mile away. You know what I mean? You take
Right.
all that exercise. Now they're like, hey man, you want to just meet me in my room on Xbox? And then they play for hours and they're sitting around eating
Yeah.
ding dongs and ho hos. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And getting fat. I mean, I
Yeah.
literally, and don't get me wrong, man. I mean, I'm still chubby. I'm working on it, but I'm still chubby and I'm 50 something. But the reality is that you look at child obesity and it's out of hand. I literally went to the store the other day and I just focused like on, I don't even know if I called you about and talked about it, but I said,
You did.
okay, I walked
You
in.
ranted.
Yeah, I ran it because I was like, I never really paid attention to it until I started just observing, and I just went into
Yeah.
observation mode. And I would say, and I'm not bullshitting, 9 out of 10 people were way overweight.
Right.
Like way overweight, man. And I
Yep.
was just like,
Yep.
what the hell? But
Well, think about it. back before we had all the streaming services and all the crazy stuff, like I'm talking like back when we only had like 50 or 60 channels on TV. You would sit down, you'd either rent a DVD from Blockbuster or VHS from Blockbuster, depending on how old you are, and you go home and watch the movie, and that'd be your movie night. Or you just turn the TV on and you find something to watch really quickly because you'd only have X amount of choices. Or you would turn it off and read a book or do something else because you didn't find something you like. Now I can't tell you how much time I waste doom scrolling through all the different streaming platforms trying to figure out what kind of show mood am I in tonight. And 9 times out of 10, I'll spend like 15, 20 minutes trying to look for something, and then I'll end up just clicking on an old movie or like an older movie and watch a movie that I've seen 100 times because I'm mentally fatigued now from trying to figure out what the hell show I want to watch.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
So we're so many choices. It's like information fatigue. Like we can't make up our minds on like what we want to do because there's so much out there, and like there's so much conflicting information. Like if you get on the thing and there's guys walking through the grocery stores that have no certifications in anything that are telling you like these foods are bad and this is why they're bad, and they're putting fancy words out there and this and that, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers and they're giving out bad information.
Well,
it's insane. Like it's like the whole raw milk thing. Like the reason we stopped doing raw milk is because people were getting tuberculosis and they were getting sick. And they were getting a bunch of cow-borne illnesses. And now we're on this raw milk kick and people were like, don't believe the government. The government's fake. Raw milk's so good for you. Well, in reality, milk's not good for you because that's for infants. Like we're the only species that drinks milk into adulthood. Everything else stops when they're infants.
Right.
So we shouldn't even really be drinking milk. I mean, other than the fact that it's, nutritious and it's got vitamins and stuff like that in it. And, if you're in a starving culture and you got access to milk, then that's, a great way to stay alive. Like it's a great way to supplement your diet. Like if you need to stay alive, but unless you can like really certify that the place you're getting your raw milk from is taking all the procedures and their cows aren't sick and they don't have anything, then you could be opening up your, self to a bunch of diseases that you don't need. For what? A little bit extra protein, a little bit extra enzymes. Like,
yeah,
it's like just crazy, dude. But then those same people will like go eat a Big Mac. You know what I mean? Or
I know, right? Well,
or they'll smoke a cigar, or they'll drink alcohol, and they'll be like, "Yeah, but raw milk, man, that's what does it for me."
That kills me every time, dude.
They won't get any exercise. Like I see run into those people all the time.
No, you made a good point.
Like, okay,
you made a great point, man. People be like, "Yeah, man, I'm drinking this non-pasteurized milk so I can get the extra 5 grams of protein." Hey, man, you want to go to McDonald's and get something to eat real quick? And I'm like, wait, what? You were just talking about that kind of shit. Oh, man, too funny. But hey, to close, I just wanted to say before we get out of here, back to TikTok. So, the United States obviously is about to join the list of some countries that have already done it as of December of last year. Okay. Obviously, Afghanistan, go figure. India, New Zealand, Pakistan, Belgium, Denmark, and Taiwan have all banned TikTok from its country concerning concerns. Of what the United States is now looking into.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's coming, guys. If you haven't pivoted, you should pivot. If you're an influencer, I mean, yeah, it's going to suck. But, you can take it over to Instagram. The only one who's smiling here at the end game is Meta because they're going to basically control social until somebody else comes out with something. If you need an alternative to TikTok, guys, you can follow us on Clapper. That's CLAPPER. We're not going to give you the clap, but you can go get Clapper and download the app. And I'm telling you, it is exactly like TikToker. It's great for creators. We're trying to grow that over there. I think we have over 300 followers so far on that one. So if you haven't checked it out, it's owned by a Japanese company, I believe. So we shouldn't have any problems with it getting banned. Mikey, you got anything before we get out of here?
Hey, everybody, have a great day and just stay safe out there.
Don't forget, head over to thedailybm.com. You can follow us, like, or subscribe. And even if you don't like us, subscribe anyway. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Have a good one.
Deuces.